Show on the box. Now, when Simon Cowell opened up to Piers Morgan in a recent TV interview, he gave us an interesting insight into his views on relationships. He explained that for him, love comes down to chemistry. You've got to really, really like someone because there's a thin line between love and hate. I've seen it. So, do you believe, Simon? Do you think there's a thin line between love and hate?
I suppose there is in our house because Tim loves me and I hate him, so... That's
No, I'm only joking.
No, I do actually think there is, because Tim can fill me with love. I know I don't say it very often, but I do love him. But also, there are very few people that can get me 0 to 60 that quickly, and it's him, to the point that I just could... Well, you know...
Yes. Because you love him.
Because, I suppose, because I love him. But Matthew, my son, who obviously loves me, said the same thing. He said, Mum, because I love you so much, and he doesn't have a temper, he's not that sort of person like his mother. But he said that I'm the only person who can get him, you know, like, not like that, but I mean, sort of to that sort of anger pinch.
Though, is it?
It's not... My mum always used to say, hate is when you want somebody to die. That was always her sort of analogy of that word. So I don't hate anybody, and I'm very lucky.
I do sometimes get very cross.
Yeah, I think some of those relationships that I've had in the past, which have been unhealthy, but were also very passionate as well. So I think I was attracted to the wrong type of man for a long time as well, because there was always sort of Scorpios, and you know what I mean?
I do know.
Not that that's the wrong sort of man, but there is that firiness to Scorpios. But Dad's a Scorpio.
Yeah, and so's Finley and Amy are both Scorpios as well. Yeah, but Steve's a Gemini, so we've here we go.
So
Look at us. Oh, so actually, it's interesting because we've got that sort of flip side thing. In as much as you know, I love him. He's wonderful. He's amazing, and nobody gets on my nerves as much as he does. He can absolutely send me because he can be really, really, really quite annoying sometimes.
Do you think your relationship is more passionate because you have such strong feelings, either completely in love or complete sort of hate for somebody?
No, I mean, I don't hate him. I get really, really angry, and I do have to do a lot of walking away and behind closed doors.
But that's not hate, though, is it? I mean, there is a thin line, but hate is such an ugly emotion.
Yeah. I think what he means is it's not beige, it's not bland, and you quite like them, they're kind of okay. They sort of
but it's a passion there. I mean, I think if you're in a relationship and you start to... And I'm talking about when you're down quite a long way and you start to really dislike a person and you both start to dislike each other. If you don't get out of that relationship, I think that can turn to what you might call hate, but even that's a very strong word. And I think that's when it becomes ugly. And that's destructive.
I don't think those relationships work, those kind of love, hate, passion, I hate you, I love you, and making up and all that stuff. It's great fun, I think, when you're really young and you're just kind of, like, caught up in the passion of it. But they're so volatile and destructive, those relationships, and they actually don't have longevity because you can't have children in that environment. And I really don't like...
But Paul, in the world, do you get more angry with Paul than with anybody else? Does he have the ability to make you more angry than anyone else does?
Like Simon Cowell says, I really like Paul. He makes me laugh. I think he's really smart. There are personality traits he's got that I wish I had. And I feel really uncomfortable when he does something that makes me think that, God, that's really ugly. I really don't like you. And it doesn't happen very often because I try to sort of kind of reason, and I like the way he thinks, and I've chosen a partner for that reason to have children with. But I think when you're young, definitely you kind of have a lot of that stuff going on.
No, I know what you mean. I mean, we're sort of... I was making light of it earlier, and I mean, it never gets to the point where, you know, I hate him. That would be a terrible thing. But I also think in the same way that it's not healthy to... You know, Denise, we've talked about this in the past. Oh, we never have rows. No. In our house, everything's just all lovely.
You don't believe people. It's just total denial. But the thing is, I think that there is an addictiveness, if that's the right word, to that type of relationship. I think I was probably myself there at some point, but I've got a couple of girlfriends who I love and adore, but I know that they are addicted to that type of extreme passion and the drama.
And it's never boring. That's
the only thing I would say is I wouldn't mind a bit of that passion again. You know, that kind of
old jiggy jigs.
Ooh, that kind of when it all, you know, that volcanic kind of stuff.
Do you know, I find spicy food just the same. Right, feeling in the need of a spending spree. Then she just got it.